Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a really pretty card. It's fairly simple, kind of a little bit of an Asian theme, I thought, with you. It's using an embossing folder and then a little fan decoration. It's pretty simple. I'll show you how to make it. Let's get started. So we start with a 4.5 by 6.5 piece of this is Centura Pearl Touch Up Gold. And this embossing folder is Crafter's Companion. I think it's Apple Blossom or Cherry Blossom folder. And we're just going to emboss that Centura Pearl cardstock. And these embossing folders, a 3D embossing folder, it gives you a really nice emboss. And I like sort of the soft look of the flowers. I have to say, I made one with my pens first, and I did not like that. So I use my Harmony water or opaque pigment inks. And we're going to start with the green, and then we'll do the pink. And I use my little finger daubers. Oh, I said I was going to start with green. So we'll start with Grasshopper, and we're just going to kind of lightly skim the surface of everything that should be green. And if you get a little bit onto the background or whatever, it's not that big of a deal because you're going for sort of a soft appearance anyway. So, but if you just kind of skim over the top, it also kind of catches on those raised pieces, and then it kind of helps you keep it where it belongs. Easy, as long as you don't push down too hard. Just going to get a little bit of green on our leaves and our stems. And that's good. Doesn't take much. Then we use our pink, and I just put the pink all over the flowers, and this is pink tulip, and I'm not worried about the middle or anything else. Just get my pink onto the flower. You just want enough pink on there that it's going to stand out from the background. You want it to look like cherry blossoms, which are a very light pink with a little bit of darker pink in the middle. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, that's good. Then I'm going to highlight those centers with a little bit of fuchsia. And I use these little makeup sponges because they're smaller and you can get it right on the edge. And I just touch a little bit on the edge, and then you can kind of come in and just kind of streak, and that opaque pigment stays wet long enough that it blends beautifully, especially on the Centura Pearl. And on this little bud, if you just kind of rub it lightly over the top, just those little edges will pick up. But you can just blend it all right in there. And these little makeup sponges, I think, work fabulously, and they're incredibly cheap. I bought a package of like 100 of them for a couple of dollars on Amazon, and so I save them with my color, and then when they get bad, I just throw them away and get a new one. You can probably wash them, but they're so cheap that they don't last a long time, but they work. And you just kind of come in from the middle, and it's almost like with an Illustrator pen. For me, it's easier for me to turn the paper and kind of go from the middle out. I don't mind if those centers get dark pink because I'm going to come back over it with an alcohol marker. and some yellow green. And honestly, this technique on this folder is beautiful just as it is without the fan design on it at all. Just plain, but I did like that little fan design, just a little extra embellishment. But if you don't have time and you're looking for something quick, this is actually a pretty quick technique. The one thing to know is the opaque pigments on the Centura Pearl will dry, but they take a while. So be careful, for a while after you color, that you either heat set it or let it dry for a while before, or you risk smearing it. Okay, that looks pretty good. And like I said, I just keep that on the back of there. Then I'm going to come in with my Tri-Blend Citrus Green, and I'm going to use the dark one. I used the lighter one on the other, but I think I'm going to use the dark here. And I just kind of touch on all the little center points and then pull a few of the stems in. The goal is not to make the centers green, but just have those stamens pop a little bit. And some of these have a lot more stamens than others. The other thing you can do with these brush pens is, if you have a light touch, you can kind of go on the side of the brush on an embossing folder, and it'll just pick up the raised section, just like if you had gilding wax or an ink pad. And that works too. Okay, I think I got them all. Yeah. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to do our fan. So this is from the Hummingbird collection, and it's from the 6x6 paper pad. And I trimmed 2 inches off, so it's 4x6. And you want to score an inch in from each side and then right down the middle. And then you're going to fold, you can see that I already did this, fold the inch in, and then you're going to concertina fold. I scored these at 1/4 inch. This one is scored at 1/2 inch. I like the looks of the 1/4 inch, but with this heavy of cardstock, it's a lot harder to do. If you had lighter weight cardstock, but this, you need a double-sided, and a lot of times the paper weight is not have a double-sided. The other thing to think about is you want a pattern on each side, so when you fold it over, you've actually got a pattern here, as opposed to, if the pattern's just on one end. And then just concertina that up. Okay. And then you're going to fold it in the middle and bring these edges together and glue them. So let me get my tacky glue out. You're going to tuck some underneath that little flap. And we're going to pull that together and hang on to it, let that glue set. Now, if you had some tassels, and I could have swore I had little tassels around here somewhere and I could not find them, I would tie them on before you you know, before you pull that together so that it's hanging down and it's right through that middle. But I could not find my tassels. I don't know what I did with them. So I'll probably buy some more and then I'll find them. That's the way it usually goes, isn't it? And then I'm going to glue down these little flaps on the end. Okay, well that's getting ready. I've got my 5x7 card base, and I've got some, this one I'm going to do in pink. So I've got, I liked the purple, but I think I'll like the pink better. So I'm just going to matte and layer that with some pink linen card. And you kind of want to match the flowers, but also whatever you used your fan. And get a good coating of glue on there because of the embossing folder you want to. And again, remember I told you this ink takes a while to dry, so I'm going to try and rub that down without smearing my opaque pigment ink. So if I weren't videoing, I would let this sit and dry before I did this, but okay, that's not too bad. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on our card. I've got my little sentiment on I can't remember which dies those were. I'm going to put it up on some foam pads. You just have to kind of decide where you want it based on where you're going to put your fan. Like I'm going to put my sentiment right about there. And then we're going to put our fan on there. And I'm just going to use my 3D Collal gel, glue gel, and put a big glob there and then a little bit in a couple of different spots. I think we're going to put that right about there. Now you see the difference between the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch. I like the looks of the 1/4 inch, but it is a lot harder to do. Now we're going to put a little bow on there. I'll go with a darker pink. And get my little bow maker that my husband made for me. I'll do 2 times around. Okay. And let me get my tails cut off. I'm just going to put a big glob of glue on there. Put that right at the base of our fan. And we're done. Not pretty? So two different variants. This one I used the purple and then the 1/2-inch fan. This is a 1/4-inch fold fan and the pink. I really like the 1/4-inch better. I think it looks nicer. It's a little bit flatter. So I like both of those. Anyway, hope you like that. Thanks for watching.